Okay, so continuing on where we just left off, I created a couple of data frames. First, created student roster. I then created question characteristics as well as students' responses wide. Okay, but what I then did was I pivoted longer the students' responses because I want to be able to sometimes, or I would want to be able to subscribe certain characteristics to each of the questions and see how students performed, okay, based on certain characteristics of the questions. And then for a pivot wider, this is, I would argue, it's like if the data is not necessarily stored in the right format and you want it to be wide again, or wide, so that you can potentially, I find my use case to sometimes combine rows of multiple data frames that are long, but I ideally would want them to be wide again. All right, so let's talk about that long format in terms of utilizing it to do some joins. So here we have the long student responses, and I'm going to interjoin it with the question characteristics. Okay, so what I'm doing, why would I want to do that? Is because I want to be able to specify the characteristics of questions 1 through 5, whether it's difficult subject or exam type. But you can see there's an error, or at least an issue, with me just doing it by what's the code currently says. Exit some of these. Okay, you'll see what I mean in a moment. This is not good. Okay, so here, when I do this inner join just by question text, it says detected an unexpected many-to-many relationship. They see exactly, that's the issue. So here, if I were to go to combine data, if you didn't pay attention, if you didn't note, this is why this is a good example to use, is that what it's doing is doing the question text from both my midterm and quizzes. But in terms of the data, if you remember correctly, now this is why I did what I did. I actually labeled student responses. Sorry, that's long. Let's go back to wide. Sorry about that. With the question type. Okay, I mean with the type of assessment. So that's important that we include that with regards to our join. So how we would do that is by going by doing this C question text, and then by type. Okay, sorry, autocomplete. I need to close this. Because when I'm joining student responses long, I have type and question text. And then in terms of the actual questions characteristics, I have exam type and question text. So I want to make sure that they are, we're combining based off of what should be combined. Sorry, I'm joining based on what should be joined, the text and exam type. Okay. So when I run this now, I won't get this warning. Okay, so now we go to combine data. The exams will actually not have anything, whereas, it's an inner join, so therefore it's link action when it does exist. And so here I have all the quizzes, of course, question text, and then I have the characteristics of the questions. So I have difficult subject, so I can now group by all the easies, right, and see all the easies and how each student performed on the easy questions. Okay, I can also do it by subject as well across all the questions that were about English, if there was multiple questions about English, or there's multiple questions about science. So question 2 and 5, I can see how the students perform there. All right, and then here, what I can then do is, like, say for example, I'm now working with my own data. And actually, I'm going to do something that I don't have here. Let's say I want to do a left join, not on student left join, student responses. Essentially, I don't want to do a left join. I mean, an inner join. I want to do a right join. Student responses with question characteristics. And the reason why I want to do this is to, display. No, it's not a left join. I want to do a full join. I want to have both situations. I want to have both exam and quiz in my final data frame. So what I'll do is I'll do combine. This autocomplete is not fun. I should have turned it off. Definitely messes up with my mind. Okay. So student response is long, that's right. And then I want to do question characteristics. That's the same thing there, same thing. And the only reason why I'm doing this is just so I can illustrate that now it's not matching just on both question text and exam type, but allowing the data frames from both, the rows from both data frames to appear. So here I want to have the 35 questions for the type, for the quiz, my mind, and then I won't have any information regarding the midterm because we don't have midterm data yet. Okay, but once I did have midterm, then I could start grouping by easy, subject, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then last but not least, this is, again, let's say I'm done with all the information in terms of analyzing the data. I can now go back to my roster and do a left join with the combined data to then see how each student performed. So what I mean by that, if I go back to combined data, I don't know which student is here, but I can do a left join with student roster to see which student is which. Okay, so I'll go ahead and run this. Okay, final data. I now have how Alice performed, how Bob performed on each assessment, on each question on the quiz. As you can see, the exam is not there because our combined data was only on matching on question text and type. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. You should do this. I'm going to post this and you'll have access to this. And if you need me to re-explain anything, I will. Thank you and have a great day.